It does not mean because God is not moving on your time that whatever the dream that he placed inside of you, that he placed inside of us, is dead. This is something that Joseph's life and his story reminded us. Joseph was delayed for like 13 years from the pit to the palace. Isaiah 40 verse 31, it tells us that they that wait upon the Lord shall renew their strength. They shall mount upon wings like eagle. They shall run and not be weary. They will walk and not faint. So it doesn't mean that when you're going through this season, God is either saying yes, no, or wait. A delay does not mean a denial. So let us keep that in mind. Also, your current situation is not your final destination. Where you are right now, your current situation is not your final destination. God is moving you just like he did with Joseph, from the pit to the palace. And yes, it may seem at times as if, God, how long is this gonna take? Because you may end up watching people move ahead of you. God, when is it going to be my time? And everything happens in his time. The truth is that sometimes, though, God is waiting on us. We may be waiting on God, but God is waiting on us to finish, to do some healing, to forgive, to release off of the way that we think. Sometimes it's not coming through, but we can take comfort in knowing that God is going to come through for you. If you stay faithful in the pit, my friends, then God is able to prepare you for the palace of your life. Stay faithful in the pit. You are not forgotten. You are loved by God. You are chosen. You're a royal priesthood. Right now, you may be thinking or feeling as if all is lost. And I'm sure Joseph, when he was going through those moments of tests and trials, because he was betrayed by his brothers, he was only 17 years old when his 10 brothers decided to sell him into slavery, all because they did not want his dream to come to pass. And so for a lot of you, a lot of us, we have to remember that the dream and the vision that God placed in us, if he said it, he's going to do it. If he said it, it's going to come to pass. It doesn't matter how much the enemy tries to push back. It doesn't matter what life obstacles and challenges that come our path. God is going to make all things new. One of the things about it, though, is that God is going to allow us to go through it, but we need to realize that it's a part of God's plan. You may think that you're alone on this path, and the truth is that sometimes that's how it's supposed to be. Because how else are we going to hear from God? How else are we going to know God so that we can use our intuition, trust in our discernment, so that we'll be able to blot out the voice of the enemies versus the voice of God? And so there are times and chapters in your life when you will be alone. And it's because in the end, God will get the glory, you will get the story. Just like Joseph, he felt overlooked and abandoned. Even in prison, he was able to interpret the dreams of other prisoners. And he was hoping that when they got out, they would put a word in for him. But sadly, they forgot about him. But see, God is setting up an appointed time when you will be pulled to the forefront of what he has called you to be. And the truth is that God set that up as well, so that nobody will be able to take credit of the things that he's doing in your life. Because if those men, if anybody was to put Joseph on, he would never be able to live free of these people, because they would always remind him like, hey, if it wasn't for us, you wouldn't get this position. Every time they want something, they would hold it over his head, like a sabotage. And so they would basically have, guilt trip him, so that again, he would always have to give in to them. But at the end of the day, God will get the glory. God will get the glory. We will get the story. Stay the course. Do not give in. Do not give up in spite of. Yes, It may seem as if there are so many people who are going ahead of you. People are getting their victory. People are getting the jobs, the career, the relationships. God, when is it going to be my turn? It may seem as if even when you're serving, when you deserve to be served. God, when is it that I'm going to meet people who are generous, who are givers like me? Where are my destiny helpers on my path, God? Still trust when you don't see the outcome. Even when you don't see the results. And this is what faith is all about. It's trusting, even though we don't know everything that God is doing. But as we keep trusting him, it's like he keeps rolling out the carpet of our life. He keeps giving us more and more information. And the more we trust him, we will realize the more we feel safe, the more we are Godfident, our Godfidence is enhanced. We are safe and we are secure in him, my friends. Stay the course. A delay does not mean a denial. You are not too late. You're not too early. You're right on time. You're not too old either. You're not too young. If God says it, he will do it. He's not slack according to his promises. He's faithful. He who has begun a good work in you, he will see it through to the day of our Lord Jesus Christ. Joseph did not know. And so many, Job did not know how the story would end. They did not have the Bible. All they did were faith walk. They just rolled with the punches and they trusted God. But we have the word today to use as a template to see that, okay, these people, they did not give up. They did not give in. And not because it's not happening on my time. The truth is that God is preparing you for where he's going to take you. Because if you don't learn certain lessons from now, then you're going to mess it up when you get to the top. Look around. We see it on the news every day. You may even see it in your own life. The people who just quickly went to the top. But because they did not learn any lessons, they just went there by nepotism or, whatever they did to get to the top. There were lessons, there were steps that they missed. And so it crumbled. God does not want us to make those same mistakes. So as we're going through this life, we're learning lessons so that when we get to that place, our integrity will be able to keep us there. That was one of the things that Joseph was able to do. Even when Potiphar's wife, she tempted him, he would not sin against God. And don't worry, even if people betray you, you don't have to run around lobbying to clear your name either. God will allow your character to speak for itself because that is who you really are. God will vindicate you and he will clear your name. It doesn't matter what it looks like. Our time and his time, it's not the same. Just stay faithful. Bloom where you are planted. That job, that situation, where you are, what are the lessons, the takeaway? Because I can guarantee you that for your next journey, it is going to be important. You're going to take the lessons from what you thought were lost. Stay encouraged and keep the faith, knowing that a delay does not mean a denial. It doesn't mean that dream is dead. It doesn't mean that idea is dead. But it will take your faith to activate what God has in store for you. Until next time, take care and be blessed.